In the first years, I never thought some of the things that we're doing now, I mean, really, they weren't possible. There wasn't people doing the kind of sculpture that's happening now in glass. 20 years ago, it was almost impossible because the tools weren't developed yet, the techniques weren't developed yet. So it's like you're part of this growing art form and kind of working in the forefront of it, which is amazing. So it was kind of like, once I got hooked, it was growing as fast as like my interests were growing in it. So I was able to kind of be involved really pretty deeply in the community. In the US, there's a big glass community, a big glass movement. It's been going on for about 50 years, really artistic glass. So I came from that society or that community where glass is used as like an artistic medium and used in small settings rather than in big factories. So when I moved to Belgium, or started coming to Belgium about 9 years ago, I was working with glass then. And 6 years ago when I moved here, we started the studio. And the premise of this studio is to be based on the American movement. So it's really open sharing, like open learning community, where we work together and kind of teach each other without it being super formal. There are formal workshops, but together when we're working, everybody's kind of training each other. Yeah, I think there's a lot of like misconceptions about it, that it's like a dying art. And some of those reasons are because the factories are shutting down. The factories have such big overhead and they're not sustainable to keep working unless you go to like China or Poland or Czech, where it's really, really cheap. But that will also change over time. But what is shifting is that these small ovens and small things are being developed that use a lot less energy and consume a lot less energy, and people are able to make glass in their garage. In the next years, it's changing dramatically. It's changed in the short time I've been doing it, and it's like always moving towards the future because there's people involved in redesigning equipment, rethinking how things are done. Like I said, the technology wasn't there for some of the things I'm doing now 20 years ago. And now seeing that develop and how fast things are developing, it's really growing pretty crazily cool.